All right, footy fans, get ready for another episode on the NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. Here are your hosts, PJ and Brennan.
Hey everyone, footy fans! It is that time again. Welcome to another episode of NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. With all your brilliant and insightful footy chat. The banter is even better and our passion is always off the charts. I'm Brenno, your resident Knights Tragic, and joining me in the commentary box once again, straight out of the burrow with a mouthful of one-liners and a heart full of Bunnies pride. It's the one and only PJ. How you doing, mate?
How we doing, Brenno? It's awesome. What a round of football. Another weekend where I sucked at tips.
Tough,
I don't know how you went. Let us know in the comments how you went. We love to hear from you guys, so let us know in the comments how you went. But going through, just really quickly, the Panthers lost again. The Bunnies beat the Roosters with a forward pass. The Eels win their first game, and then immediately after that, the Dolphins win their first game. Yeah, what's a weekend of football? I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, so don't forget, once again, jump in the chat. We want to see what your thoughts are. I think my chat box is working. I can share it up on the screen as well. If you're not watching live, though, make sure you get onto our NRL Live Chat 2.0 Facebook group page and join in on all the fun there. And our live chat, which is actually happening right now, as you can see on the screen there. I've got it shared there. But you can get on that and we can talk about all the footy games over the weekend while it happens. So get into the chat. Let's have a look at a bit of... I don't know if there's much news again this week, but let's have a look. Maybe. Oh, dear. It's on the go slow today.
Don't you love it when we do it live?
What's going on,
No.
Anyway, so...
Must be a New South Wales doctor.
There's not much
they're on the
news.
go slow today.
There's not much news to go through at the moment, but there probably is. But one of the main things, though, there's a lot of rumours that the NRL... press the wrong button. Anyway.
Don't use this one in the next job interview, mate.
Anyway, so let's try that again. So there's rumours that the NRL want to buy a 33% share in the Super League over in the UK. Not sure why exactly, but potentially to gain more control over the game, going more international. And there was a condition mentioned, though. The NRL want full control of the administration side. We're going to see some NRL take over the Super League altogether and potentially incorporate it in our comps. Or there might be some club international tours. That could be pretty cool. But I think maybe the NRL just trying to take over the world like Pinky in the Brain there. What are we doing tonight? Yeah. We're going to take over the world.
World domination. No, but really. My first question to you, Brennan, was going to be why, but you've already said you have no idea why. What? Why would you try and take over a struggling competition that's not really making money and not really achieving what it can? Now, obviously, if they think their administration can improve it, there's a reason because the value will go up and blah, blah, blah. But no one's buying rugby league competitions just quietly. No one's doing that. So it's very interesting. I hope in the wash we end up with the World Club Challenge. Super League was a waste of time. Everyone agrees that. It died after 1 year and they had to merge back with the NRL. But the one thing I think was really cool was the World Club Challenge. Yeah. Getting those pommy teams out here, playing the games, knockout competition. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they've got what have they got? Three. They've got 12. We could have what do we got? 17. Yeah, it probably wouldn't work.
So it's all about world domination. That's all it is.
And money. World domination. And money. Yeah. But I like the World Club Challenge. I think that was fun.
That'd be good if we had some sort of side competition where.
Cup. Yeah, get to 20 teams, have a 9-round comp, and then have some kind of Panasonic Cup, KG Cup, World Club Challenge Cup, separate to everything else. I think that'd be nice. It's the Cup.
All right, let's head into Brenno's naughty corner. So as we discussed last week, there was a bit of a crackdown set to happen in round round 5, and on the head contact tackles, and as expected, see more in the naughty corner. And well, I was a little bit underwhelmed. The new crackdown on high contact was sparked plenty of drama, but I predicted at least 2 or 3 a game, but very disappointed. It could mean the players are starting to take a bit more care in their tackles, but I don't know.
Yeah. I actually liked it better than the last crackdown, Breno, because the last crackdown, you couldn't knock a fly off my chin and you're in the bin for 10. This time they actually thought about it.
Yeah.
You know? So we ended up with 8 actual sin bins over the weekend.
Yeah.
There could have been 15 or 16 if they didn't use common sense. So I think I'm giving a big well done to the NRL for actually still applying some level of common sense and not being like they were a few years ago and just putting everyone in the bin.
But of course, there was a couple that they missed, of course. But out of those 8, I think there was only 4 or 5 that were actually head-high contacts. It might have been 6 of them that were head-high. But I know the one down the bottom there, Phoenix Crosland, that was just a brain snap, that one. Anyway.
Yeah. The Tino Fa'asua Malaawi, I'll get that right one day. He gets a week off for his one, and the Titans just disgraceful on the weekend at home. They were really firming for me as a top 6 team, and I'm just wondering what the hell's going on.
I also noticed this too. Voluntary tackles. It doesn't come up very often in the league, but we need to sort this out. We need to get this out of the game. It looks stupid. In actual fact, voluntary tackle is against the rules. So check out this guy. So he gets the ball, looks for support. In the meantime, realises he's gone around other players, and to avoid a penalty, doesn't want a penalty. I'm just going to surrender and fall over and tackle myself. You look like an absolute dickhead. And the referee should just pull it up. So call it for a voluntary tackle or call it for an obstruction. If he's gone around the players, it's an obstruction. Call it. Yeah. This guy falling over on the ground looks stupid.
Yeah, you can't save yourself from one penalty by committing another crime that should be a penalty.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Double penalty. You should just get sent.
I'm with you. It happens every week. It's been happening for years. It annoys the crap out of me as well. If I run behind my player, I'm just going to stand there and just get tackled. That's what I'm going to do.
He didn't even do that. He just fell to the ground and tackled himself.
That's what I'm saying. If you dive to the ground, that is a crime. Yeah. It's called the voluntary tackle, and the ref should just straight away and just call that for what it is.
Yeah, or even just call the obstruction.
So annoying.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
That's the rant for the week.
Yeah. Hey, just dive on the ground, mate, to save themselves getting a penalty for an obstruction. Because they can't run. You can't run, you can't dive on the ground. Just stand there. Just stand there and tackle me. Yeah, you got me. No. Want to save that obstruction that I just did accidentally.
So, PJ, you didn't tell me about this. I didn't know you joined the police force. Or what's actually going on here? So just,
take your hat off.
This could be another thing. Just be careful next time you see a random South guy, because it could be an undercover cop. This guy being arrested for a really bad haircut and not wearing his pants correctly.
Oh, it is. Fair dinkum. What a head. What a head. He's got his pants too high. He's got his pants too high. He's like showing off, I don't know, like he doesn't even have calves, so it's just some kind of white skin there. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's got nice shoes, but that's about it.
Glory.
Probably stolen.
Well done to the... That's probably why he got chucked in the bin.
Yeah, well done to the undercover police officer in the red and green. But yeah, watch out, we're everywhere.
You never know.
Not just at other people's matches.
Also, have you seen these cool footy fan figurines, PJ, that are popping up everywhere? The guys at Mad Monday have come up with some funny AI figurines for each club. A bit of stereotypical fun. Here's the doggies. Got his bum bag.
Got the bongo drums. They love their bongo drums. The Bulldogs Army, mate.
Some of these are politically incorrect. Be ready for it. The Raiders fan, on the baby bonus. And
is that a missing dad?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and in the pokies, got the Storm how to cheat for dummies and cash bags and wrestling ring. He's got a whistle as well. But, yeah,
very funny.
There's some good ones there. Poor old Para, bring back the 80s. Here's a Knights one. A Knights one, I don't get it anyway. Henny Penny chicken, yeah, all right. We're mining area. So, yeah.
That's Andrew Johns. Go back. That's Andrew Johns skating down the street. Remember he did that famous scene skating down the street? That was very funny.
And Penrith. He's a bit of a thug. New Zealand Warriors. Once we were Warriors. And
nice. A couple of sheep in there as well.
Don't know what that
very
means.
Believable. Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
Cronulla fans. ET's Fishing World on DVD and supplements. Oh dear.
And the light on. They got to leave the light on. Very funny.
Anyway, we got
Cowboys.
The Broncos have got 2 heads and a banjo. And,
you're going to upset some Broncos fans in here,
and
mate.
some nail polish for Reese there. South's got the Gladiator and it looks like he's played pokies as well. All right.
Yeah, you got some false teeth to make up for all the teeth we're missing.
The Roosters, they got the sombrero. There you go, cash bags.
Yeah. And moped.
I don't know what that means.
What's the white thing down the bottom there, Brennan?
I have no idea. Manly, with the beaver.
Yeah, you got some pale ale. The Manly Ferry. I like it.
And so it brought me to this. Come across this as well. Well, I actually made it. Hey, it's Brenno!
He's got his accessories.
We got me beer.
He's got his headphones and his laptop and his mic. I love it. Love it. That's awesome.
There's another one coming up. Here we go. You ready? Hey!
Oh, do you get me? Hey! There's the PJ emergency kit. You got a 21 Cup trophy, some tips and a Rabbitohs flag, as well as the Carlton Draft, sponsor of tonight's episode. Carlton Draft.
Unofficially.
Officially.
Anyway, that was a bit of fun. Had a bit of fun with that.
Very funny.
It's very clever, this AI stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I think we should go head into some results. What is the score?
What's the score?
What's the score? I don't know. What's the score? There we go. There's the score. And that's all we got time for.
Cheers. Bye, everyone.
See ya. Okay, so first game up, we 18-all at half time with this one. The Raiders held strong in a gritty contest at home, edging past the Sharks 24-20. A solid defensive effort and some crucial moments from Canberra's spine saw them get over the line, giving the home fans plenty to cheer for. Raiders 24 defeated Sharks 20 with 4 tries to 3. Yeah, look at that.
I did tip the Sharkies, but I did say in my podcast last week that I felt that Canberra were going to bounce back in this one.
That would you?
Back at home, 2 really poor performances in the lead up to this. But multicultural round, you could see humans versus human-bodied shark heads. Getting all the multicultures in there. But Sharks really disappointed. They'll be really disappointed after that effort. It was another game that they shouldn't have lost. You know, they've got another tough one this week against Manly, who are stinging after their big loss. And Manly's their bogey team. So Sharks, bit of drama here. They could go on a real slide.
So there was a bit of a spectacular try from Seb Chris that secured a last-minute try by the Raiders. So it was crazy, and I felt that had lost, but I thought they lost, but somehow they kept it alive and getting over the line, breaking all the Sharks fans' hearts. But how is Ricky Stewart going? Check this out. Mixed emotions from the bloke.
Good knock.
Dear oh dear.
Tin in the bun. Just kick the chair. Chairs are always the victims. They're like trees on the side of roads.
There we go.
Seb Chris had him in my multi, but it was all too late.
Hell yeah! Here he is.
Ricky went on the hug-a-thon. He was hugging everyone, even Santa Claus back there. It was amazing. He was just having a great time.
Oh, I thought it went very good. I was going to get some soft serves.
Yeah, I love it. Jesus. Anyway.
Yeah, Sharkies.
He loved it.
Yeah, in trouble.
All right, then we, in a tight arm wrestle, the Cowboys stunned the Panthers with a late surge to steal 22-18 victory. 3 tries for the Panthers, 4 tries for the Cowboys. And the Cowboys' composure in the dying minutes proved the difference in this tense Friday night thriller. Poor old Panthers, though. You must be feeling for them. They've done the four-peat. That's 4 losses in a row.
Yeah, no one's feeling for him, mate. 4 premierships in a row and then 4 losses in a row. So, no one's feeling for the Panthers. Yeah, great club and great team, and no disrespect at all to Panthers or the Panthers fans. Yeah. But it's not. I don't think it helps the competition when teams dominate that much.
Yeah.
I really thought the Storm would win it last year, but Panthers really struggling this year. But Dylan Edwards back this week. A couple of others back this week. I think they're going to bounce back. The Cowboys.
I'm hoping.
Haven't the Cowboys turned it around, Brennan? 3 straight losses to start the year, and they were really bad losses.
They did this last year too, remember? I was always tipping them, and they lose, and then I stopped tipping them, and they started winning. Here we go again. We're starting again. But anyway, spare a thought for this milestone too. Yet again, they've stuffed this up. Poor old Isaiah Yeo. 250th game, and they got the bloody date wrong on his jersey. This happened last year,
Did they just do it in American format? Was it the 3rd or the 4th?
Possibly. I actually, when I first saw this, I thought they had 26 in there as well. So.
Yeah. Anyway, when I first saw it, Brenno, I thought they spelled his name wrong.
They probably.
But his name is actually Isaah. How the hell is that Isaiah?
I don't know.
But anyway, it is what it is. And the Panthers.
Yeah. Only team to not win in Australia. Yeah.
The only team in the NRL who have not won a game in Australia, and no, that's not an April Fool's Day joke. That's actually real. They'll do that tomorrow night, I reckon.
And Bruno's pressing the wrong button yet again.
Oh my God, dude! But yeah, Panthers really struggling. I think they'll bounce back this week. But the Cowboys, this is going to be a great match of Cowboys and the Rabbitohs. Both of them on 2-game win streaks. Bunnies have had some injury issues again this week, which we'll get into in the next match. But that's going to be a good game, 5:30 on Saturday, I'll tell you now.
Bring it on.
I can't wait.
We'll get to that shortly.
I got so excited, Brenno. I saw that.
Yeah.
Four Rabbitohs games in a row. Beautiful. And I was all planning to go to the game. Then I realised that South sold that game to Perth.
Boo. And talk about the Rabbitohs, PJ, your boys, mate. I know you want to talk about this. I'll give you a second, but the Rabbitohs, geez, what a great game this was. Well done to the Rabbitohs with their roster issues. They lost both halves, then a winger, but Latrell his return was amazing. And Joey Gray, absolute gun and streaks ahead on the Daily M leaderboard.
Streaks.
Rabbitohs get the bragging rights over this one. They're outmuscling the Roosters 20-14.
Hard-fought game with 20 to go. I didn't think we were going to win it. The Roosters were just doing enough in defence to hold us, and we were doing the same, but we were behind. So it was just one of those games where there wasn't a lot of points in it, but the Bunnies just hung in there, and they got an opportunity to get a try, tied the game, and then Latrell, everyone's blown up about a forward pass. Newsflash, they happen every week, about 4 or 5 times. Yes, in this case, it decided a match, but South have lost 1,000 games from a forward pass to the other team. It is what it is. Yeah. I was right in line with it, Brenner. I'll be honest. I was right in line with the pass, and it was just forward. Yeah. It came out of his hands just forward and then floated a long way forward. The linesman's there going... And
we learnt that from last week. The linesman had no idea.
Yeah, it's not a difficult job, but for some
how was
reason
the atmosphere though? How was the atmosphere at the end of that? It would have been pumping.
Atmosphere was good. Yeah. I got my godfather there for the first time.
Nice. Yeah, cool.
He hasn't been to a game in 3 years. He's been really crook, so he was really excited to be there. and they got a win for him, which was even better. Jai Gray, absolutely spectacular. I don't know how many times a bloke who's about 5'5" does the first hit up 10 out from his own line, but I think he got nearly 300 metres again. He picked up all the points in the Daily M. He's 19. I think the next best is 14. Latrell Mitchell came in and played centre for a bit, but then we lost both the halves. He played 5'8", so he'll be 5'8" this week. Tough game, though, with the amount of injuries we've got playing the Cowboys, who are definitely in a better position.
So then this one come down to the wire, but the Eels snuck home for their first win in a 23-22 win over the Brave Dragons outfit. A field goal made all the difference in what was a back and forth encounter, full of drama. So 3 tries each and 2 penalty goals each. Dragons up at the half 14-8, but Eels win by 1 in the end. What's going on with the Dragons? Like, they defeat the Storm last week, and then they go to last place Eels, and who can tip this shit?
We're still waiting for the blood test from last week, just quietly. But the Dragons beat first place and then lose to winless last place. They beat undefeated first place. Let me say that again. They beat undefeated first place and then lose to winless last place.
Yeah, it was funny seeing some of the fans do the Gutho dance in the stands to the Eels fans. They probably just booed him because that's what they do.
Yeah, well, the media loved it, Brennan. The media loved it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
The Gutho 2 tries. It looked like he was going to lead his team to victory against his old team. And then it's Zach Lomax gets the field goal to lead his team to victory over his old team. Yeah. It just had everything this game. It wasn't a high-quality game.
Twilight Zone or something there,
Yeah, it wasn't a high-quality game, but it was exciting. I really enjoyed that game.
So now that both Dolphins and Eels celebrate their first win, congratulations, guys, with this. Oh, no, that's the next one. I just jumped the gun. Hold on. So the Dolphins ran right on the Gold Coast, dominating the Titans 36-10. The visitors showed speed, skill, and plenty of power to bounce back. 5 tries to 2 and 3 penalty goals. Dolphins 36, Titans 10. My question is though, why couldn't the Titans play this bad last week against the Knights? They were just dreadful.
Mate, the Titans, I'm sorry, it was appalling. They were so bad. The Dolphins weren't even that good. No. And I'm not being disrespectful to Dolphins fans. They played a good game, but they weren't spectacular. And, geez, the Titans, I really had them top 6. Yeah. Like I was thinking, wow, these guys have got it together. The coach has got them chiming. The forwards are doing great. The halves are ripping it up. The AJ Brimson's playing on fire. Jaden Campbell. They just look like they just had it all together. And then just like that, and I can't click, sorry. Yeah. I can't
I heard it.
Just like that, the Dolphins just clicked into gear and flogged them at home with, again, a pretty average crowd because Gold Coast don't get good crowds, right?
Yeah, because their team shit.
Really disappointing game from the Gold Coast team. Dolphins, good on them. They got to win. Yeah, they got another game this week they can win. We'll see what happens.
So let's try this again. So now that both Dolphins and Eels celebrate their first win. Hey, what's mine say?
What about mine?
This old
what does mine say?
First win. What's mine say? First win.
What does mine say?
What's mine say? First win.
It's fun.
Very funny.
So a try-fest with 12 tries in total at Suncorp as the Broncos put on a show, racking up 46-24 victory over the Tigers. Tigers had more tries at the half, but with no conversions, and a Reynolds kicking a 2-point field goal just before half-time. Broncos were dreadful in the first half, but held on 14-12 at the break. Then Brisbane attack clicked into gear on the second half, and defeated the Tigers 46-24. Wow.
Yeah, wow. It was an interesting game. I thought the Tigers, despite being undermanned, were doing a really good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, doing a really good job in that first half. I don't know what the halftime chat was. Benji needs to work on those halftime chats. But Broncos
Not this
just
week. It's not this week.
Xavier Willison on the books, double try in his first game. But Adam Reynolds steered them to a really good victory. He's back in this week. There was rumours earlier in the week he was going to be out injured with a hamstring injury, but he's actually in against the Roosters. So, Tigers will be disappointed, but they get Luai back this week.
Yeah.
It's time for them to start returning
Not
themselves the victory. They have not won a match since Luai was injured.
All right, now, in a dominant defensive display, the Bulldogs shut out the Knights 20-0. That's it, the end. All right, let's move along. No, just joking. So, no, Canterbury controlled this match from the outset and gave their fans a glimpse of
Hang on, that's the next match, mate. You got the Manly graphic up. Manly was first.
I got ahead of myself. Again, I've done it again. Take
Bulldogs
two.
were last.
Oh, sorry.
And
cut. Okay, Storm. I was getting ahead of myself again. Two slick for the Seagulls, grabbing 3 early tries. Storm 18-10 at half. Charging to a commanding 48-24 win in the end. Melbourne's big guns fired, and their relentless pressure proved too much for Manly to handle, scoring 8 tries to 4. So Storm 48, Seagulls 24.
Dreadful, Manly, dreadful.
What happened
No
there?
Tommy Turbo.
Yeah.
Immediately turns to poop. We need a poop emoji here now. We're doing this live, so there's no poop emoji, ladies and gentlemen. 18-0 after 17 minutes. The Storm were well in control very early in that match, and that was 0-0 in the 10th minute.
Yeah.
They scored 3 converted tries in 7 minutes, and the old mate Manly Warringah really struggling. Daly Cherry Evans was actually in the media today saying that they need to get more consistency.
Yeah,
Whoa!
No shit.
What a revelation! 3 big wins at home and
then
2 losses away, and then got murdered by, again, the Storm. The Storm put 48 on Manly at Brookvale the week after they lose to the Dragons.
Yeah. Yeah, they turned up. They were there to prove a point, I think.
I was a fool for picking Manly in that match, I tell you now. The Storm, they always bounce back after a pathetic loss. Bellamy would have been flogging them all week at training.
Yeah.
Not flogging them, but, ripping in and making them work hard. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm going to stop talking.
Anyway, take 2 on this one. I did jump the gun a little bit before, but as I was saying, the Bulldogs controlled this match from the outset and gave all their fans a glimpse of what's possible when they click on both sides of the ball. Knights lost Saifidi before the ball was even kicked off. That certainly didn't help, but he ran out and ruptured his calf. So dead set, man. How hard did you run out on that field? Did not even play in the game. He was gone.
He was keen to get out there.
Then shortly after that, Schiller, our winger, got HIA. Despite that, Knights held on a constant bombardment at the line with 2-0 down at the half. So there was a bit of hope. And second half got worse for the Knights, having no players. That's 0 on the interchange at one stage. And Marzu struggling as he does under the high ball. Cogger got a dislocated finger. Crosland had a brain snap and was sent for 10. Dogs took full advantage of it all. So ex-Knight Kurt Mann running in for a try. Mahoney running right. And Dogs grabbed just 3 tries to none. Bulldogs 20, Knights 0. Scoreless.
Felt like a semi-final, Breno. Watching that game.
The way they're playing hard.
It was such a close battle, like 2-0 half-time. I thought I'd put the soccer on accidentally, Like, seriously, it was such a close match. Yeah, but then that try right after half-time, Josh Curran, and he was spectacular in that game. He's apparently not a Kiwi, and he'd be pushing for Origin. I heard that on the radio too, but I could have sworn he was a Kiwi. But Josh Curran pushing for a New South Wales Origin spot, apparently. And then Jack Todd backed it up 4 minutes later, and 12-0 to the Bulldog, 14-0, to the Bulldogs. it was just too hard for the Knights to get out of that hole then. But
They just couldn't
up
score
until that
points,
point, I
like,
thought the Knights were brave.
pretty much, Knights only had like 2 attempts at the line anyway, and there was another attempt I think they got called back, but they could not get their attack together at all.
Yeah,
It was a little
but
bit
the Crossland
disappointing, it's very
brain
frustrating.
snap.
Oh,
Yeah, the Crossland
what a
brain snap.
dickhead. I'm surprised he didn't get in the Brenno's naughty corner. He only got a fine. He didn't get suspended. I thought, oh, here we go. They'll throw the book at him because everyone else gets off, but he'll probably get a week. But no, he's missed out. That's good.
Yeah, but that brain snap. Fortunately, it didn't cost them too many more points. So the Knights held firm until Kurt Mann scored in the 70th minute against his old team, and he enjoyed that.
Yeah, I bet he did. He got one. He got one earlier than that, but it was disallowed.
Yeah. So the Doggies 4-0, and they got the bye this week, so they're 5-0. They are absolutely leading the way in this competition. Now, Brenno, I have to be honest here, they haven't, except the Knights, with all due respect, they haven't had the toughest draw in the start of the season. They've done well. Bulldogs have done well and deserve to be top of the table. But when you look at their opponents, they've not really had a very tough draw. Where do you see them now in the 1 to 17 at the end of the season, based on the way they played?
Well, they got the bye this week too, so that could be good or bad for him. I've from the start I said they're in the top 4, so this is just showing that that's where they want to be, and that's probably where they're going to be. If not on the top, they'll be in that top 4 for sure.
Yeah, I think they're on 4th or 5th. I can't remember now. But Dragons, Titans, and they were a bit average in that game. The Titans.
Yeah, the Titans one was interesting. Yeah, because even though I wrote them off a long time ago before the year even started, the Titans, but they've won a couple of really good games, and even in that Dogs game, they were still pretty strong. They put on some points, but they just kept switching off, and the Dogs ran over them. So.
Yeah, the Dragons, Titans, Eels, I would have had them 3-0 before the season even started. That's a soft start. Beating Sharks at Shark Park was strong, and then the win over Newcastle. The bye this week, so they go to 10 points, 12 points actually. Sorry, and then Easter Friday, Bulldogs and Bunnies, mate. Ooh, what a game!
That's going to be
if the Bunnies win this week,
as long as you got some players. You might be right.
If the Bulldogs, if the Bunnies have some players, we might be a chance. But it might be tough.
See, here's something to point out. So Manly lost to the Storm, right?
Yep.
Then the Storm lost to the Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Then Dragons lost to the Eels. So therefore, according to this calculation, Manly are worse than the Eels.
That could be true. Without Tommy Turbo, they probably are worse than the Eels. So,
it's crazy.
There's some strange results in there, man. That's still that Dragons Storm result goes up there with who was the Panthers the other week when they lost, and it was like Roosters.
Yeah.
Panthers. Jeez, yeah. I'm not going to say anything.
What's going on anyway?
Questionable results, but anyway.
So
where's that points table, Brenno?
Look at this. Bulldogs are streaking ahead. They got the bye this week, so automatically 12 points. Followed closely by Broncos and Storm. And Warriors, they're on 8 points. Rabbitohs are on 8 points. So there's a bit of a battle up the top already, nice and early.
Yeah, and the Warriors turned around from that first round loss to the Raiders.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw that and went, oh, geez, they might be bottom 5, the Warriors, and then they won 4 in a row.
So Roosters, though, what's going on there? Down the bottom. When was the last time they were down there?
Yeah, I don't know, but I love it.
Panthers, too. Panthers and Roosters down there.
Anyone say KFC? Someone say KFC?
So here's our tipping results. It was another rough week. I managed to gain one up somehow.
You got another one on me, Brenno. Oh, Darlene's watching. Hey, Darlene, how you doing? You might know Darlene, Brenno.
Maybe.
Hope you're good, Darlene. But yeah, Brenno got me again. 4 tips to 3. I foolishly went Manly. I really don't know what I was thinking without Tommy out.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if I held that, then it was really
It
only that.
shouldn't have been that much of a blowout, really. It should have been a closer game. But
True, but yeah, that Sharks Raiders game, Sharks had that in the bag until the last 5 seconds. So yeah, tough week.
yeah, but put your house on it. Killing it. He's up on top there, on his own.
Well done. Put your house
Well
on
done,
it. Say hi to us so we know who you are. We'd love to get you on and
Yeah.
talk about where you get your tips from, because you're doing better than me.
No, you dropped down to 5th. That's right. You're still hanging in there. You're only a couple
Mate,
of points
I'm
out.
equal with a
I'm
guy
not
called
even in the
Flopster.
10th.
I'm equal with a guy called Flopster77. Like, what's going on in this world?
He's been going good, though. He got the top tip a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but Amelia into the top 10 and Muzzerific.
Mazza.
Well done, Muzzerific. Where are you, Brenner?
Down there somewhere. I don't know.
You're 22, aren't you? You're only 1 point off.
It's still early. It's still early.
I think you just showed me you're only 2 behind me. So
I'm on 22, yeah.
yeah.
Anyway.
You might see Brenner in the top 10 next week, ladies and jellyfish.
Probably
See what
not.
happens.
Depends on my tips. So let's check it out. What's happening this week in round 6? Wow.
Round 6.
Flying through it. All right, so kick off the round 6 at Suncorp with a really early season shake-up. 14th place Dolphins host the 15th place Panthers. Who would have thought that? Defending premiers are struggling and the Dolphins are sniffing an upset, especially with the $2.86 from Sportsbet at the time of print. It's probably changed now, but
$3.06 is the Dolphins.
It's blown out even more. Wow.
Yep, buy that.
But I'm going. I'm going to go Panthers 1-12. Panthers have got a couple of players out. Edwards is back in for Panthers, sorry, and Sorensen's back in as well. So that might strengthen Panthers up a little bit.
Yep, Panthers have had Blaze Talangi over here just on the shelf, just keeping him fresh. He's starting 6 this week with Dylan Edwards back and Cleary back and Sorensen back. I think Panthers will be like Melbourne last week. They're going to absolutely flog the Dolphins here, ladies and gentlemen. Quote me, 13 plus. Gamble responsibly, of course, because I don't know everything. But yeah, I think a big Panthers win tonight.
Yeah, you're
looking forward to watching that.
Wow.
Looking forward to watching that one. I hope the Panthers lose. No offense, Panthers wins.
Now the Dragons return to Wollongong up against the Titans. Red V are sitting 12th while Gold Coast have climbed to 8th and will be looking to keep the momentum going. Sportsbet have the Dragons slightly favourites. This one's a toss-up for me. I'm looking at Dragons 1-12, but yeah, I just don't know. The Titans are going to be one of those teams for me, I think, this year. But I don't know how to pick them.
Yeah, Titans have been so good. I was really disappointed in them last week. I really thought they'd turned a corner and they were actually being a finals contender. That was appalling last week. So who knows who turns up on the day?
Toss a coin.
Flanagan doesn't go back a sec. Flanagan doesn't look like he wants to turn up on the day. Look at that sad face there. He's I'm going to play the Titans.
Resting bitch face.
Resting bitch face. But, Jojo Fafita back on the wing for the Titans. Sam Verrills is back after, I think, a concussion he had a couple of weeks ago, nasty head clash. Regan Campbell-Gillard's been really good. Fafita's still on the bench. I'm surprised by that with Tino Fa'asua Mala'awi out, that they still think the best option for their $1 million 10-year player is coming off the bench. But here we go. But I'm going Titans 1-12. I think this might be the one I get back on you here, Brenner.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
Good chance. And then the second Friday night game, we've got a classic, Broncos versus Roosters, but the latter tells a different story. Brisbane are flying high in second, while the Roosters equal last, $1.20 versus $4.60. Wow. Kind of a night, according to Sportsbet anyway. But the Tricolours, can they pull off a miracle at Suncorp, or Reece Walsh and co continue their red hot start? I've got Broncos 13 plus.
I've got to share my hatred for the NRL draw. This is the second time these guys have played, and it's week 5.
Well, it's the same as the Knights. They're playing Tigers the second time.
It's ridiculous. Everyone should play everyone once and then play the other games after that. I think the NRL really have a missed opportunity in the draw when they do this sort of thing. But just 4 weeks ago, the Broncos beat the Roosters 50-14 in round 1 at the Roosters' home ground. And I think it's going to be much better this time. I think the Roosters have kind of started to build a little bit of strength in their defence. We saw it last week against the Roosters. Couldn't defend forward passes, but Hugo Savala, he's been in the nappy grades. I think he was under 6s 2 weeks ago, and he was in the New South Wales Cup last week. They brought him straight into first grade. Chad Townsend's out of there, so what would buy you for? He's going to be the Kyle Flanagan of 2025 for the Roosters. Hugo Savala, amazing young player, not a Roosters junior, but they've stolen him from somewhere. But I don't see anything but a Broncos win here. They're too good. Adam Reynolds is in. I think they're going to win probably 30-20 or something like that. It'll be a bit of a high scorer, but Broncos for me. Good luck, Hugo Savala, but not enough good luck that you win.
Okay, so we're off to Perth for a Saturday triple header outside of the usual states. So we're starting with the Sharks and Seagulls. Sharks 10th, Seagulls 6th. And this is the markings of a high-scoring, fast-paced clash. Cronulla are favourites, but Manly have been sneaky good this season. Neutral venue opens up the game maybe, or strap in for this one. This should be a good match. I'm taking the Sharks though, 1-12.
Yeah, no, I went Manly. There were a couple of reasons for that.
Okay.
I think Manly will bounce back after last week's really bad performance.
Think so, yeah.
But Manly's also one of those bogey teams for the Sharks. You know, the Manly and the West Tigers are actually the two teams the Sharks really struggle to beat, no matter where they are on the points table. So it's interesting. Will Kennedy still has a job. Talakai is back, and they need that. They need more strength in their team. So he's back onto the interchange bench. But Manly, pretty strong lineup for me. So with the exception of obviously Tommy Turbo, should get the job done in a close one. 2 or 4 points, maybe 24-22 or something like that, I think.
All right. What's the next game?
Hopefully the Sharks win now. Obviously, I'm married to a Sharky girl. So.
All right, next up in the West, we got Souths take on the Cowboys. The Bunnies are 5th and looking dangerous, very dangerous. But the Cowboys currently sitting 13th despite the bounce back. They take advantage of the Souths missing players maybe. But, I'm going. See, this one was tough. I've changed this one a couple of times, and I'm going the Bunnies 1-12.
Tough.
Yeah.
Super tough. Yeah, Cowboys are looking stable. They've had 2 really good wins. The Bunnies, a lot of injuries last week. Cody Walker out for a month. I think Humphreys is out for 6 weeks. We also lost Mr. Ravalawa. Mr. Ravalawa. Come on, girl. Mr. Ravalawa. Did his hamstring. He's going to be out for a month. But fortunately, Alex Johnson's back.
Yeah.
AJ, the big man. I love you, AJ. You're my favourite player.
Didn't he get hurt last week?
He's back after scoring. Yeah, he was out last week, yeah. After scoring a try and popping his shoulder, and they thought it was AC joint. And fortunately, only misses a week. Ewan Aiken is back for his first game for the Rabbitohs after a preseason injury.
Yeah.
Jack White in centres as well. Latrell Mitchell will move to 5'8". with Cody Walker out and Jaden Sullivan, who set up the winning, or not the winning try, but the equalising try last week. I thought he was good. So he's going to be into that starting lineup as well. Hubner back after a couple of weeks suspension. That's a huge in for South Sydney because still no Cameron Murray until probably May. But Hubner's been really good for us. So this will be a very good match.
Yeah, some good names there. Ruben Cotter's back for the Cowboys as well. Putting a bit more strength in their front line. But yeah, this one's going to be good. This will be a good game.
Yeah. Good match. I was so excited, Brennan, I have to tell you, and all the fans, when I looked at the draw, I saw South at home, and I went, we got 4 home games in a row. I was so excited. And then about Thursday today, and Tuesday, I realised this game's in Perth. And I got very sad. So, no game for me this week. No game for me. Bunnies 1-12.
So then we're off to the tropical. We're going tropical for the final Saturday game with the Eels facing the Raiders in Darwin. Wow. The Eels are rock bottom 17th. What are you doing? Raiders are 7th. So it's going to be a tough ask for Para, and markets agree. So Raiders are favourites, but anything can happen in the top end heat. And the Eels need to continue to win to get off the bottom, but I've got Raiders 13 plus. Lomax is out for 6 weeks, apparently too.
Who's out for 6 weeks?
Lomax.
Zach Lomax
yesterday, yes.
Oh, wow. Sean Russell's in the lineup.
It was named because this came out on Tuesday, and I'm pretty sure I seen yesterday that, Lomax might be out with a fractured foot.
Might be, yeah. He's still in the lineup right now, so I don't know what's happening there. But
this came out Tuesday, and I think yesterday
they
announced it.
Yeah, no, I'm on the NRL site right now, and he's still there. So
okay.
They usually update him.
It could be false information.
Yeah, but Parramatta is. I think they'll get some confidence from that game last week. G'day, David. See, David's watching. G'day, Dave. How you doing, buddy? Parramatta will get some confidence from last week, but I think the Raiders are just going to be too good, unfortunately, for the Eels fans out there. They turned a corner. I'm only going 1-12. I think Parramatta are a lot better than they have been. So I'm just going 1-12, maybe 26-14 or something like that. But Breno's gone 13 plus. He's still getting the Raiders.
Yeah, I think they can do it. But you're
going to tropical cyclone those Eagles, eh?
Maybe in the heat they might struggle. I don't know. But all right, what's the next one? Let's have a look. The heavyweight bout of the round. Ding, ding, everyone.
Ding,
Third
ding.
versus fourth. Storm and Warriors in Melbourne. So the Storm are in a classic early season form and the clear favourites for this one. But the Warriors are always up for a fight against the big teams. Can they bring the chaos to Amy? Or will Hughes and co control the tempo? I'm taking Storm 13 plus. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm thinking there.
I'm also taking 13 plus. When Jerome Hughes came back into the lineup last week, the Storm are just a completely different team. Like if teams aren't trying to find a way to pay him $1.5 million, I'm not sitting here. Like seriously, that kid is such a good player.
Yeah.
And when he's not there, and they've still got Pappenhausen and Munster and Harry Grant, they look like poop. They look like poop against the Dragons. But you put Jerome Hughes in there, and all of that poop becomes professionally moulded clay. So, I
very
think
strong lineup. Yeah.
At home, 13 plus. I know the Warriors are going well. They've won 4 in a row. Oh, three. There's actually a buy in there. I think the Storm will kill these guys. Sorry.
Good possibility.
It's not going to be good. Good luck, Warriors fans. Hope you win.
All right, then we wrap up the round in Newey with the Knights and West Tigers, 9th versus 11th on the ladder. These two teams have already played, but the Nova Castrians are favourites at home, but the Tigers have been one of the surprise packets of the season so far. So can they silence the Hunter crowd, or will Kalen Ponga lead the Knights to a home victory in style? I just found out I'm actually going to this game, so I'm a little bit excited.
Woo!
You. Actually, I went for the Tigers originally, and I couldn't do it. I had to go back and change it. I've gone Knights 1-12. Hoping they might score some points this week because they've scored 6 points in the last 2 weeks. Not enough.
Yeah, not enough to win games, that's for sure. But Jerome Luai is back this week. The West
Luai's
Tigers
back,
are playing really good football with him in, so that's going to be a big in for the Tides. Jackson Hastings, surprisingly, they've left him out of the squad. He's 19th man, Brenno. I don't understand that. He's been playing some good football, but Kai Pearce-Paul also back.
He's back, yeah.
Frizzell's been really good. And Thomas Kant absolutely can. Don't believe his
so
name.
Good last week.
False advertising. He's been really good. And Phoenix avoided suspension. So huge opportunity here for the Knights.
Yeah. Missing Chiller,
get straight back in that winner's circle. Yep, Gagai, Best, Marju, Fletcher Sharp, massive backline with Ponga, and Kyle McCarthy, not exactly a sloucher either. So the Knights should win this one, but I'm only going 1-12. I think the Tigers will be a lot better with Jerome in the team.
And the Knights are just struggling to score points. They did it last year too. They just really struggled to get over that bloody line. It's really frustrating. Anyway. Hopefully, with any luck, I'll have a victory.
You can hope.
Okay, so here's our tips for the week. Let us know what you think.
Nice. And just on the Knights there, Breno, you said they're struggling to score points. They have had a bye, so remember that. But in their 4 games...
We can't score points against the bye either, so...
42 points, Bruno, is all Newcastle have managed, and the lowest team in the competition, apart from them, is the Parramatta Eels with 67.
Yeah, right.
So they've also led in the 152. The good thing with the Knights, 66 against. That's second in the comp. Again, they've had the bye. Yeah. Against other teams who probably played 5 games. So very good.
And they were doing it last year. When I watch them, they got great lead-up play. Like Ponga just runs rings around half the players on the other team, and he's got players that run off him, and they get into gaps. Bradman Best is one of the best line breakers. And they get up there, they're like, oh, we got here, now what do we do? Oh, that's right, we dropped the ball, and they dropped the bloody ball. I was like, oh my God. It's so frustrating. But turn it around this week, boys. Let's go.
So Breno, 2 points behind me, ladies and gentlemen. 2 games different. Titans, I've got. Dragons, he has. Manly, I have. Sharks, he has. Is he going to tie it up? Let us know in the comments. Is he going to tie it up with me this week? Will we split the points, or will I get 2 more on him? There's only 3 options that it can be, Breno. There's the rubber.
Come back next week and we'll for the exciting conclusion.
Yes. Come back next week.
Okay. We're going to have a look at everyone's favourite episode. It is...
PJ's Tip of the Week.
I wasn't ready for that. Usually, like, I'll let you know, I scroll back into the message that I sent Breno earlier in the week to remember what I actually said to him as my tip of the week. Longer. So last week, Breno.
Do you want last week's results up there? You sure? All right. There we go.
Oh, jeez. So I got 1 out of 6. So I hope you're not using me to buy your next house, because... you'll be homeless. But this week, here's what we've got. Ready? This is a surefire, absolutely 100% winner. Maybe not. Panthers, 13 plus. I've got the Panthers smashing the Dolphins. Panthers 13 plus. I have the Broncos 1-12. I think they'll beat the Roosters, but it won't be anywhere near as awesome as it was last time when they put 50 on them, which I just quietly got very, very happy and excited about. And then the final tip for this week, the Storm 13+. I think they will dismantle their opponents this week and have a big win. So Panthers 13+, Broncos 1-12, Storm 13+. That'll pay a small fortune, not really, but they're pretty favourite. But gamble responsibly.
PJ's tip of the week.
There you go. You have all of our tips and our.
Yeah, and I really hope the Warriors don't lose 13+, Brenna. I have to disclose that. I really hope the Warriors don't lose 13+, but with the way Storm played last week, I just can't see anything but a huge win back at home in front of their fans in this one. Sorry, Warriors fans.
KJ's in the chat there. Okay, everyone jump into the chat. Get on our page and.
Hey, Kev, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're well.
We'll we'll be on there very soon. Talking about tonight's game.
Who you got winning tonight, Nigel? Is he calling me a Nigel or you, Nigel?
No, this is in our match chat for round 6. So.
Yes.
He's talking to someone else. Let's have a look, see.
Hopefully he's called Nigel. Nigel responded.
I can't even see Nigel in there anyway.
Kev just wrote, sorry, wrong chat. He knows a different Nigel. Oh, Breno. So what's your match of the round, mate? What's your big one this week?
Did I not mention that? Well, apart from going to see the Knights and the Tigers, what was it? There was
Tigers. Yep.
Actually Rabbitohs and Cowboys would be good. But I think Storm and Warriors, that's going to be the strong matchup of the round, I think. It's going to be... Well, it could go either ways. If the Warriors don't turn up, it could be another Storm smashing. But, yeah, that's going to be a big game.
Yeah, what's PJ written there? Well, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, yeah. Knights and Tigers, huge match. I think that's one of the matches of the round. I actually think the Cowboys and the Rabbitohs is also another match of the round. I'm going to go Sharks and Manly, probably the match of the round.
Yeah, that one's pretty solid.
That's probably the match of the round. Sharkies absolutely have to win that. They're on a slide. And, Manly, really bad loss last week, but winning at home, and they're not at home, so they've got to prove that they can win somewhere other than Brookvale Oval.
All right, everyone, make sure you jump into the chat and tell us what you think as well in the comments. We'd love to hear what you say.
And not write penis.
And don't write naughty words. Otherwise, the admin will get on there and boot you. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Unless it's the admin.
Enjoy all the footy this week. Enjoy the footy, PJ. Enjoy your flight over to Perth.
Go the Knights and go the Bunnies.
Go
team. The Bunnies.
And good night. See you next week. We'll do it all over again. Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks for listening to an action-packed Live Chat 2.0 podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out all of the NRL Live Chat 2.0 action on our Facebook group page. Come and join the chat. Goodbye.